So we are winding down towards the end of the year. 2026 is upon us, and as a truck driver, as an owner operator, you're probably wondering, should I rebuild my engine? Okay, that's not what you're thinking about, but I'm gonna put it in your ear, just in case the thought cross your mind. It's the end of the year. Winter time coming up is usually slow. You're working less hours, less miles due to the weather. You may want to take some time off. Right now, I know it's busy season for drive-in, supposedly for drive-in and intermodal, because holidays are coming up. So you finna soak in, hopefully, a lot of money. Then you want to decide, should I rebuild my engine? Should I do an overhaul? If you are thinking about doing it, let me give you some price points and how you should probably go about it, depending on what engine you got. Now, I only recommend people rebuild the engine if they got Cats, Cummins, Detroit. I don't know about Volvo motors and PACCARs. The only Volvo motor I could probably tell you to do a rebuild on is maybe the old school D12 Volvo. As far as them D13s, D15s, I don't know anything about that. Not saying you can't rebuild the Volvo motors or the PACCAR motors. It's just I don't have any experience with that. I don't know anybody around me that ever done any type of rebuilds on those trucks, so I can't really help you on that. But let me give you some price points anyway. So a lot of people get ripped off during this stage, the rebuild phase. They get ripped off, and I mean they get ripped off bad. I've watched people on YouTube blow their motor and come on YouTube talking about PACCAR engine cost $65,000 to rebuild. I forget what that YouTuber was that came on here and said that. Blew his motor in his Peterbilt. I think he had the 579 or something like that. Said, man, that PACCAR gonna run him some $65,000. I don't even know where he got that kind of price point from. Well, I'm pretty sure the dealership probably told him that. But if you get out here and drive trucks and you don't educate yourself and you get basically all your repairs done at the dealership gonna clean you out. They gonna clean you out if you got a semi truck or a regular car. I take my car to the dealership, I know they gonna clean me out. I know they gonna clean me out. The price they gonna give me gonna be something insane. They told me I needed a tie rod on my car. They wanted like $4,000. You know, a tie rod, I can go on rockauto.com, right down here to AutoZone, AmericanMuscle.com. Tie rod, $80 for the inner and outer tie rod, $80 together. Labor, I mean, looking at YouTube, we talking about 1 hour of labor. Dealership talking about $4,000. $4,000. That's with a car. I know if I take my Cat engine to Freightliner, they may give me a price of about $80,000 for a complete overhaul. Things you should know. First of all, how many hours is an overhaul? A rebuild / overhaul is approximately 50 to 65 hours. 50 is on the low end, 65 is on the high end. Any mechanics charge you, 50 hour, that's great. 55 hour, that's great. 60 hour, that's great. 65, we on the high end. Nothing should go past 65, but I'm gonna tell you how I can go past 65 up to 80 hours. You go to the dealership again, or Crow's Truck Service, or any of these high-end, expensive, trying to soak all the money out the truck driver style shops. How they get past 65, 70, 80 hours, of course you need a newer truck. And it'll go something like this. At 65 to 70 hours, they are including you replacing maybe the EGR system. When you start going 70 and 80 hours, it could be something like, you know, the one bots or something dealing, some other type of emission system that's creeping up them hours. But of course, when you watch this channel, we don't put $1 into emissions. Whether it's an old truck, new truck, or a truck right off the dealership lot. $0. That's what I put into them, nothing. I don't go and get DEF for them. I don't replace one boxes, not sensors. None of that. We don't do any of that. I don't care what the laws is talking about. I don't care what video you saw on YouTube. We don't put no money into it. That's why we don't purchase those type of trucks. Cause see, that's why I got you. I gotta know. Well, Andrew, if you get caught, if I get caught with my trucks, I don't got it on my truck. I don't have no emissions trucks. I don't have one boxes and all this stuff. Cause I knew from day one not to get that crap. You just taking money and throwing it out the window. $10,000 for a one box. Why are we spending $10,000 on the one box? For what? To do what? To spend another $10,000 6 months later? Because it ain't gonna stop. Your emissions problem ain't gonna stop. You buy the new one box, okay, you got the new one box on. How many months before you back putting more money into the one box or the emission system? It's gonna keep cleaning you out over and over, month after month, and year after year. It ain't cleaning me out because I know not to put $1 into that system. Okay, so without the emissions talk, 50 hours to 65 hours. So now that you know how many hours you should be, by the way, I was charged 65 hours on my cat engine now that I think about it, 65 hours. But now that you know how many hours the rebuild is, the question is, how much does it cost? This depends on what the mechanic charge. You got some mechanics, they still at $100 an hour. $100 an hour, let's say they tell you it's 50 hours. 100 times 50 is $5,000. That means they charge $5,000 for labor. Or if they at 60 hours, they charge $100 an hour, that's 100 times 60, $6,000. How you get the labor bill through the roof is when you show up to Freightliner and you walk into the service desk. They got the wall, you know, on the wall in the service desk. If you look up, they got the price right there on the wall, labor per hour. And it'll say something, you know, depending on what state you in. It could say $225 an hour. Okay, $225. Let's just say they gonna be on the high side. They ain't gonna be talking about no 50 hours. They gonna hit you at 65 hours. $225 times 65 hours, they want $14,625 in labor. Don't forget they gonna hit you with another $1,000 in shop supplies. You don't even know what that is. This is just an extra $1,000 on your bill. That's at $225. You go out to Odessa, Texas to that Kenworth. Is it $275 or have they went past $300 yet? $275. That was a couple of years back. Them fools may be past $300. Who gonna say $300? $300. Choking you at $300. 65 hours. $19,500 in labor. And you thinking, because you ain't go out there and educate yourself, well, it's the dealership, so they go, I want my stuff done, I want it done the right way. I want it done the right way. No, you don't. You don't want it. You absolutely don't want it done the right way, fool. You don't want it done the right way because you walked in the wrong way already. You walked in the wrong way expecting things to get done the right way. Oh, don't let them get the parts. You gonna let the service department get your parts too? Let me tell you what the dealership told me. Say you go and pay, you know, the dealership to do your overhaul. Do you know if you don't yourself go into the parts department and buy all the parts yourself at that dealership, if you allow the service department to go to the parts department in the same building and buy all your parts, you know you know the service department charge way more than the actual parts department. They gonna surcharge the fee as if it's two separate businesses. Oh, they gonna clean you out. They gonna clean you, and then you gotta come on YouTube talking about they want $65,000 rebuild my motor. Of course they do. No education going on with this trucking. Guys, just because we holding the steering wheel going up and down the road, not knowing nothing about the trucking industry, they gonna clean you out each and every time. Each and every time when you don't educate yourself, this industry will clean you out. They clean you out. They have you maxing out American Express and Visa and whatever bank you go to, and you'll be sitting over there thinking you can pay it back driving a truck. You can't pay that crap back because your check is all over the place. It's up and down. You don't know what you're gonna make next week. You don't know what you're gonna make. That's why a lot of people that's got maxed out credit cards and trucking is still maxed out. That stuff is so difficult to pay back because you don't know what the check gonna be. You thought when you went to the restaurant they were gonna pay you $2,000-$3,000, but when Friday, matter of fact, Friday just hit the day. Look at your check today. Shit. You don't even want to show your check. It's so crazy. You done roll all these miles and you got your check today, and it ain't nowhere near what they told you were gonna make. I know. Anyways, they end up arresting a dude too, by the way, drunk driver. If y'all saw him, a short guy came down the road. I guess he was drunk. He just decided to slam into my neighbor's house. Yeah, he went to jail. They just towed his car. So that's what happened with that situation. Back to the hourly thing. Also keep in mind when you do go to the dealership that the people that's gonna be working on your truck is usually people fresh out of school. Keep that in mind too. It's only one person there with the most experience. You know, the foreman, I guess is what they call it, the foreman, or the I can't think of the top person is over everybody, the top mechanic. You know, a lot of them people just, they brand new, man. Some of them mechanics less than 4 years of experience. Less than 4 years of experience. See, all the guys with all the experience, the 30 years of experience, the 40 years of experience rebuilding engines, see, what you don't know about the dealership is they started at the dealership. But when you get there, they ain't gonna be there. You know all those guys at? They left the dealership when they opened their own shop. The mom and pop shop. Like my secret shop. My guy did 30 years at Freightliner and retired and went and opened up his own shop. What he charged? $5,000 for labor. Flat fee. He just do flat fee. 30 years of experience. Or I can go to Freightliner where I know nobody in there got more than 30 years of experience. Ain't nobody in there more qualified. Nobody. Not nobody more qualified than him. So just keep that in mind. Or you could always just walk into the service desk and just start ask the mechanics on the ground. They'd be like, hey man, if I pay all this money, you want $300 an hour. Can I talk to the people that's rebuilding my engine? Where they at, man? Let me walk out there on the floor. How long you been rebuilding engines? What year you start working here? I've been here 7 years. I've been here 4 years. I've been here 3 years. Okay. There's a catch. See, I said that's the guy, that's the foreman, that's the guy that's over everything. The two technicians that's gonna be rebuilding your truck that you didn't ask the question to, you know the guy that's over off in the corner. They the ones that's gonna be rebuilding your engine. The foreman's just gonna be watching over and making sure that things are done correctly. They charge you 3 times the amount just in case, you know, because you guys want the warranty, right? See, when you want a warranty, you gotta pay 3 times as much. See, they gotta justify the price. This 300 an hour, they gotta justify the price. The guys at the bottom, they rebuild your engine, and guess what? If they do it wrong, well, you paid 3 times the amount, so you can bring it back 3 times and get it rebuilt. Because you already paid for the warranty up front by them triple charging you. Anyway, so call around, find the mom and pop shops. That's what I recommend, especially if you got a simple engine. You rolling a freaking Detroit 60 series, you got one of these 34.6B cats or some one of these simple engines with barely any parts on the side of it, where they just take up the cylinder head and, you know, pull up all the parts, all the internal parts. You ain't got no complex engine, ain't no pack car, no X15 Cummins or no MX13 or something with all this stuff on the side. They gotta take off all this extra label. Or you ain't got one of them D13s. Nah, my bad. The DD13 is suck up off in the freaking engine. You know, it's underneath the cab. They gotta charge all this labor to get all off in there for a rebuild. They ain't gonna rebuild. Don't nobody want to rebuild that crap. You got a DD13, a Detroit DD13. That's labor intensive. You buy that truck, that's labor intensive. All them parts suck underneath the freaking sleeper. They gonna charge you through the roof for that crap, making their job 10 times harder. Anyways, man, so just know, overhaul 50 to 65 hours, hourly rate $100, 150 right now is the going price. Some shops 180, 225, 250, 300. Let's see what's going on outside right quick. All right, now it's time to pick the parts. Now, when it comes down to the parts, you got some mechanics that'll tell you, hey, we're not gonna rebuild it unless we pick out the parts. I try to avoid all those mechanics, to be honest with you. Any mechanic telling me they gotta pick out my parts, you can't bring your own parts, I don't deal with them at all, because I don't want to pay their surcharge for, you know, they get the freaking parts down here because they get some discount with whoever they get their parts from. They want to charge you up here so they can make more money other than just the label. I don't deal with those mechanics, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Plus, I don't even know what kind of parts they use. I don't know if they use an OEM or aftermarket or highway and heavy. I have no idea. I deal with mechanics that, damn, Bitcoin all the way down to 105,000. Just got the alert. I thought we had just broke. Thought we was at an all-time. No, that was gold that hit 4,000. Yeah, Bitcoin was just like 120. Anyways, you know, my bad. Stock market. The parts. You got OEM, you got aftermarket. It's up to you to decide which overhaul kit you want to go with. First thing I tell everybody to call my phone. Get your VIN number, call the dealership, ask them how much is the overhaul kit for your truck. Anything between $3,000, well, unless you got an N14, but anything between $3,000 and about, I say $5,000 for overhaul kit, I would say that's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Okay? When they start talking 5,000 plus, I look into some other options. First option that I look into, I go on atldiesel.com and I look at, pick whatever engine you got. Everybody can go on their website and see atldiesel.com. Go on their website, click whatever engine you got. Start looking at some of the aftermarket kits to get the prices on now. They most definitely gonna have their aftermarket kits at about $3,000 and $5,000. They got different brands, IPD, you know, PAI, Highway and Heavy. They got different, you know, different brands on now. I don't know if one better than the other. Me, I like, you know, IPD is what I got in my cat. I got a Melee in my $15,000 flat top, which look, that Melee kit that I bought for that $15,000 flat top, I can't tell you if it's Chinese or whatever. I don't know that crap mind me. All I can tell you is the kit cost me about $3,000. Yeah, it's aftermarket. No, it wasn't OEM. They put that in my $15,000 flat top, and I bought a classic blue truck a car, a trailer, starting my authority. And if I want to, I go get in the truck right now and go buy a whole house with it, because the truck's still running. So that's with an aftermarket kit. One thing I realized, or one thing I was told when it comes to OEM versus aftermarket, but with the aftermarket kit, you know, back in the day with them 12.7s and them Fitzgeralds, you know, they only got about 300,000 miles with them, you know, highway heavy kits they put in now. 300,000 miles? You know what how much money I can make on 300,000 miles? On 100,000 miles with the flat top, about 3 vehicles. Well, 4 vehicles if you include the trailer. That was on 100,000 miles. 4 vehicles. And rebuilt the engine to the blue truck. Bought a transmission to the Classic and a clutch. I'm just saying, that's on 100,000 miles. If I get 300,000, that's wonderful. The problem is, I don't know if I'm still gonna be driving a truck on 300,000 miles. Because as of right now, I'm not. I end up parking that flat top and jumping in the Classic. Okay, the OEM can give me 1,000,000 miles. Well, that's wonderful. The problem is, man, that's 10 years. I don't know if I'm gonna drive a truck for 10 years. To accomplish my goal, it don't take 10 years. It don't take 10 years. Shit, I've been in this industry 10 years. You telling me I'm making drive one of them trucks for 10 more years? I don't know if I want to do all that. I'm here to complete a goal and be gone. So once you find your overhaul kit, you need to know that you must buy a water pump and an oil pump, because they don't come with the overhaul kit. Yes, you have to buy it. You got to buy the oil pump, you got to buy the water pump. Don't let nobody tell you different. Unless some kind of way you already changed the part recently. You already hey Andrew, I just recently put on the water pump 6 months ago. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. My battery finna down this camera, so I'm about to pause this video anyway. Let me upload this as part 1, and I'll come back with a part 2 later on, because I didn't charge the battery.